What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 13th of July, and we have about 6.5 hours left in the day here, just under there. $0.031 is the price, 0.0317. We're down about 4% on the day, and that's okay. We are right at the area that we were expecting to go to, right where you'd consolidate at. It's very possible that you could go a little bit lower than this low, and it's okay if you do. 0.003 would be the lowest that I'd give you. I don't think you go below there. But even if you do, it's not a big deal. We're going higher, right? You found your low. That is absolutely, undeniably the low. And sometimes, actually oftentimes, after you find a low, you come down and you find a higher low, and then you build from there, and you find a higher low, and you build. That's just what happens. Sometimes you get a double bottom, and again, that's the point. If we go below this area, who cares? You can still do a double bottom. It's not a big deal. I doubt that you do though. I doubt that you go lower than 0.003. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame here, looking at this here, you're very, very bullish. Okay. Getting overbought, coming down, getting oversold, a little bit volatile, but I mean, you've been volatile, to be fair. Still very, very bullish. I think that the way that you're postured here, you've got a nice kind of rounding of the bottom in the 1 hour time frame, looking like you're consolidating right below the 50, ready to pop and go higher. I think that you will. Maybe not today, but tomorrow or over the coming days, you surely will. And I think that you'll start to be up and up on your way to higher relative highs. If we're looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, you do have lower lows in the RSI, bouncing right off the 40 there. You've got basically a double bottom here in the price. It's not hidden bullish divergence because it is a technical lower low in the closing price, but to some degree it's bullish divergence, right? Bouncing right off the 40 there. Low, higher low, looking like you want to go higher. That's my thoughts, okay? If we're looking at this here from a low to a high, you are consolidating right below the 382. I would, normally I would think that you go down to the 0.5, but again, even if you don't stop here, even if you don't go there, that's fine. Maybe you go to the golden ratio at 0.028, 0.0274, something like that. That's fine too. Whatever, bounce there, that's fine. But I have a hard time seeing you get below that 0.5. So you might not even go down to 0.003. That really could be the low. But again, if you do go slightly lower, who cares? It's not a big deal. A little fake out and then a little fakey poo and then a little upside action afterwards. The 4 hour RSI, getting overbought and not getting oversold is a good look. Bouncing off the 40 is a good look, right? You rejected the 40 here. You've found support at it before, turbulence at this area before. It is a significant area in the RSI. So I think once you get to the overbought zone, you should be breaking out of this range here. And on that note, you should be seeing higher prices. So where are these higher prices that you're going to? From a high here to a low there, I would anticipate that we see prices rapidly soon move not just to the golden ratio, but to the 786, 886. When you consolidate between the 0.5 and the 382 like this, the 236 even, whenever you do this, oftentimes you do rip right through the golden ratio. That doesn't mean you have to. If you stop at 0.0465 to 0.05, that's fine. You could do that, and that's totally fine. Maybe you find resistance right here, consolidate, come back, find support where you found resistance before, and then you move up. But with this kind of perspective illustrated right now, I would think that we do move up to about 0.056 to 0.063. Something in this kind of area here, the 786 to 886 area. I'm going to guess the 786. I think that you'll move like precisely right there to 0.056, okay? Maybe just above, just below. If you go higher, 0.063. If you go lower, 0.05. But something in this kind of realm of expectations here, right? That's the expectation, but something right in the middle, that's what I'm calling for. That should happen by the end of this next week, okay? This next week ends on the 20th, so I think before the 18th you'll probably be up there, and then you'll consolidate again going into the weekend, going into maybe the next week, and then the end of July, the last week of July, you should be breaking out, I think, to new all-time highs. Once you see your new all-time highs, guys, the only thing that you should be thinking about, and maybe even now that we found our low, the only thing that you should really be thinking about is prices that are at about 2 cents to 4.5 cents, okay? Could you go higher? Sure. Could you stop lower? Sure. But this is ZBCN. This is one of those coins that, I mean, it's outperformed most of the market here in this recent rally that we had, right? The alt season has finally begun. I think alt season is here. And with that, I just highly doubt that you're going to stop. Where are you going to stop? If you don't stop here, the next target area would be here. It's about a 4.5x. That's on the upper ends of average. You're on like the higher, you're average, but like on the upper ends of average. That doesn't sound like this coin to me. I don't think you're going to see an average move, even a slightly above average move. I think you're going to see at least something that is definitively above average, which is a 6x from here. That'd be about 1.97 cents. Let's call it 2 cents, okay? You can stop there. This is a range. It's like a 6x to a 7x move. Something like that would be the minimum standard, okay? 2272, you could go just above there. Typically with the 2272, you do go just above. You don't stop right at it. And what's just above there? I don't know, 3.2 cents, a 10x from here, something like that. You did a 10x in a month before. You could do a 10x in a month from now. I think you will. And I do assume that this move here, what's coming overall, right? This move here, a lot of people get caught up with the past, and they'll say, oh, well, we consolidated a lot. That was this first move here. That was a 10x move in a month and a half. You're not going to get that again. Now it's going to diminish. But I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think that we're in a more bullish environment. I really do believe that ZBCN will see a more bullish outcome. And yes, overall, I believe that we will get a larger than 10x move from this low to where you go, which, I mean, at that point in time, a larger than 10x move would at least take you to the 2272. That's about a 13x move right there. 3 cents, I feel confident in the fact that you will get to at least 3 cents, but let's give a 2 cent minimum still. Maximum going to 4.5 cents. That's the 2618 right there. That's a 14x move. And from here, let alone overall, that's a pretty big move. I think that that's fair. I think you could stop higher than that, but again, we get into the realm of less likelihoods with that, right? Just like this is less likely than stopping in this zone here, I think it'd be less likely that you go to 6 to 7.9 cents, 8 cents, but maybe you do. If you were to go there, understand with the 2618, maybe you wick a little bit above here. You can wick a little bit above here, but if you go too much above here, it's very uncommon to stop in between this zone and this zone here. Like, you don't stop between the 2618 and the 2886. You either stop here or you stop there. So it's like we're either calling for a 14 to 15x or we're calling for a 19x. And I don't see a 19x happening with this thing from here, at least not by the end of August. And then, you know, maybe a 25x at the or 24x at the most. But again, I don't see that happening by the end of August. I see you hitting these prices down the line later in the year and probably well beyond there. You know, ZBCN will be worth tens of cents, 40 cents, you know, more than that. It'll be, could it be worth $1 by the end of the cycle? Maybe. I mean, maybe it could be, honestly, but maybe just below $1. Maybe you stop like at 90 cents or 80 cents. I don't know. You know, time will tell. But that's a topic for another video, I suppose. Maybe we can try right here. Let's just see real quick. What's ZBCN's market cap? 268. 100x is 26 billion. 200x is 52 billion. 52 it'd be like, actually it'd be like a 53.6, 53. Let's just call it 54. 200x. So 200x would be about 50 something billion. Yeah, I doubt that you're going to see $1. I doubt that you will. Right, 200x is probably the maximum capacity that you can achieve. That puts you around like 62 cents, 69 cents, something around there, right? That's probably what you'll see at the end of the cycle at the most. If not at the least, I mean, I would think what you're worth 14 to 17 cents, but genuinely I think you'll see 100x from here or more, but time will tell. But again, that's for later. Let's see how you react here. I think that after we see how we react with this move in August, we'll have a much better understanding of where you'll go by the end of the cycle. Until then, it's very speculative. I would think that ZBCN achieves a market cap something on the lines of like a $10 to $50 billion market cap by the end of the cycle. If it goes more than that, great. But from here, you're at 0031. All I can say is I'm very confident in the fact that you probably see a 3 to 5 cent price, 3 to 4.5 cent price between now and the end of August. We're at a low point here, so if the question arises at all throughout this video, is it a good time to buy? I hope you can answer that for yourself. We're at a low point right now. Is it a good time to buy? What do they say? Buy low, sell high. We're at a low point now. I think it's a great time to buy. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.